guys, welcome back to Real Talk, where we break down the best in movies, TV shows, and all the controversial behind-the-scenes drama in Hollywood. And today, we're diving into one of the most talked about cinematic gambles in recent history, Megalopolis. From the legend behind The Godfather, Francis Ford Coppola released his self-funded 4-decade-long passion project that cost a whopping $120 million to make. The question is, was Megalopolis a misunderstood work of genius or an overblown, self-indulgent train wreck? Let's break it down. So, first things first, what is Megalopolis actually about? The trailers made it look like a mix between Blade Runner, Metropolis, and some kind of Roman Empire fever dream, but at its core is actually pretty simple. A visionary architect, played by Adam Driver, wants to rebuild a futuristic city after a disaster, but corrupt politicians and old-school thinkers, including a power-hungry antagonist played by Giancarlo Esposito, stand in his way. Megalopolis was heavily inspired by ancient Rome, particularly the fall of the Republic and the rise of autocracy. Coppola envisioned a futuristic city reflecting Rome's political and societal struggles, drawing parallels between Julius Caesar's ambitions and modern leaders. Visually, the movie is ambitious as hell, but here's the thing. For a movie that cost over $120 million, the cinematography doesn't always reflect that price tag, and there's a good reason for that. Coppola reportedly had major issues with his visual effects team, firing people, redoing effects, and last-minute changes, all leading to inconsistencies with CGI. So while some scenes look gorgeous, others feel like an expensive student film. And then there's the casting. While the performances are largely strong, the ensemble itself presents an unusual mix. Some actors at the peak of their craft, while others have off-screen controversies that have basically cancelled them from Hollywood altogether. Shia LaBeouf, Dustin Hoffman, and Jon Voight, just to name a few. This decision has raised questions about Coppola's approach. Was he aiming for artistic integrity or simply willing to take risks that most directors wouldn't? Either way, it adds yet another layer of unpredictability to an already divisive film. Now let's talk about the real reason Megalopolis struggled. Was Megalopolis set up to fail? Because Hollywood did not make this easy for Coppola. They straight up hated this movie before it even hit theaters. First off, no major studio wanted to touch this film. Why? Well, because it's a huge financial risk, and let's be honest, Coppola isn't exactly in his prime anymore. He even had to sell part of his own winery just to get it made. Crazy. Then there's the critics, who roasted the film early on. Some called it pretentious, others said it was unfocused, and the marketing practically non-existent. Sure, the movie's flawed, but Hollywood has a history of being brutal to auteurs who go against the grain. A similar thing had happened to Blade Runner back in the day. So, did Hollywood sabotage Coppola, or did Coppola sabotage himself? Let's talk about that. Let's be honest. Coppola didn't do himself any favours. First, the whole self-funding thing. He put up his own money, $120 million, because he didn't want studio interference. But guess what? Sometimes studios help keep things focused. Without that, Coppola kept changing the film up until the last minute. And then there's the release strategy. No streaming deal, no big promotional push, and no Blu-ray release. Wait, what? Yep, Lionsgate still hasn't put this movie out on physical media. So if you missed it in theaters, too bad. However, it is now available to rent or buy on Amazon Prime and Apple TV, which eager nerds like me have resorted to. So, in an era where people watch movies on their phones, making Megalopolis this exclusive was, let's just say, a choice. So the big question, has Coppola lost it? Firstly, we have to acknowledge the guy is a legend, no question. The Godfather redefined cinema. Apocalypse Now is a masterpiece, but it's been 13 years since his last movie, and Megalopolis had constant last-minute changes, which suggests he might have lost some of the sharp storytelling instincts that made him a great. He's always been a risk-taker, but this time it feels like he bet big on the wrong horse, and maybe, just maybe, he needed someone to rein him in. But hey, at least he did it his way. So, has he lost his touch? Maybe. Or maybe he's just ahead of his time. Again, only time will tell. So at the end of the day, Megalopolis is a fascinating, flawed, and maybe even a misunderstood film. It's not for everyone. It might not even be for most people. But one thing's for sure, Coppola swung for the fences. And in Hollywood, that's rare. Whether he hit a home run or struck out completely, that's for you to decide. But now I want to hear from you. Have you seen Megalopolis? Do you think Coppola is a misunderstood genius, or should he have just retired after The Godfather? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into everything cinema. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.